Hey metalheads, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Mediterranea Metal Cruise podcast. We have David from Virgin Steele. Hi David.
Cheers, by the gods and goddesses. Thanks for inviting me.
Good to have you here.
Taking time, yes.
Are you joining us from New York at the moment?
Yes, Long Island, New York. Yep.
And how's the weather?
It's a little gray, but it's good. It's like it's just nice gothic gloom. I like it. It's good. Yeah.
Okay, it's good to hear. Any plans for Christmas? Are you spending holidays there or?
Yeah, I'll be in New York. Yeah, I don't really. Christmas really isn't my holiday. I'm more of a Halloween kind of guy.
Oh, really? Interesting.
I'm a pagan, so.
Okay. So do you like costume stuff, like dress up or just the concept?
No, I don't really. I mean, I am. What I wear is what I wear all the time. I don't put on any special outfits or whatever. I'm the same. Every day is Halloween for me,
So every day you go as the famous vocalist of Virgin Steele. That's your outfit for every day, your costume?
That's my look every day. Yeah. Always. And you're in Greece, right? You're in Greece? Is that
Yes, at the moment, yes. I'm in Athens. Kati is joining from Helsinki, Finland.
Yes, we have it really gloomy and dark outside. We lose daylight at 3 p.m. right now. You might like it here.
I remember it. I've been there. Yeah.
Cool.
I like it. Excellent. We were just in Crete. We played in Crete in August.
Nice. Yeah. How did you like Crete?
And summer. Yeah, Crete. Yeah.
Did you like the island?
I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. I love anything to do with Greece. Yeah,
really?
Absolutely.
Okay, I guess food as well, like endless.
Oh yeah, and I've been making all week. I've been making stuff with tzatziki. I'm a big fan of tzatziki.
Me too. I want Greek food here, but we get it, and I know how to make tzatziki too.
Excellent.
And yes, Alex has the best recipe for us.
All right.
Yeah, it's easy. Okay, that's good.
And you didn't only make tzatziki, you also just made another amazing album. The first one in 5 years, I think, The Passion of Dionysus. Can you tell us more about that?
Thank you. Sure. It was it was one of those records that just had to be made, and it was the incubation period was a while there. I had written stuff, and then I kind of put it aside and went on to other things that I was doing. And then I said, Edward, our guitar player, kept coming up, when are we gonna do Dionysus? When are we gonna do it? Okay, we're gonna do it. So he was prodding me to get my ass in gear to finish it up. And says, all right, let's go. And we started doing all his guitars. I was recording all his stuff. And then from that moment, it went pretty quickly. All the vocals and everything kind of just flew out. And the longest thing that takes is always the mixing. It takes forever, the mixing. So I'm never satisfied with that. And but I'm pretty satisfied with this now. So yeah, it was a wonderful year. Actually, 2023 was a good year because of that album, because of doing the live shows again and getting the band up and running in the live arena. And now we're actually on to what will be the next album. But in addition to that, we're also doing we're reissuing the first two albums, and I'm actually totally remixing Guardians of the Flame, because I got the original multi-track analog tapes transferred to digital, and I've been doing that for about 2 weeks now, and it's coming together really quickly, really nicely. So it sounds quite good. This is much better than the original release.
Wow! And when will it come out?
Yeah, it's gonna be 2024. It will be. Yeah, it'll be vinyl and the CD version and whatever else there is these days. Everything else there is these days. Yeah.
Sounds cool. So David, basically talking about Virgin Steele, we'd love to hear the significance of the band in your life, and your musical journey as well. So how has Virgin Steele impacted your life so far?
it is my life. It's my complete existence is Virgin Steele, and music in general. All things. I started singing in bands when I was 11 years old, and prior to that, I was watching my brothers and sisters play their groups, and so music is the be all end all in my life. And once I was able to do it on my own with my groups, it really has been the guiding force in my life. And everything I do, I think about, oh, that could be a great Virgin Steele song. That could be a great moment for Virgin Steele, that kind of thing. It's, every waking moment is fueled with that. And, till my last breath, that's how it's going to be. It is what it is.
Oh, you touched my feelings. Seriously, it sounds good. Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, wow. So Virgin Steele has a rich history. And how does your new album, Passion of Dionysus, how does your new album fit into this? And how is it different from previous albums like Age of Consent and Invictus?
It's the next step. I think I've broken new ground as a writer with the album, harmonically, melodically on the record. It's pushing the boundaries of bringing in that kind of classical music thing, the kind of like what I call the bones of the mountain sound, the early blues things that I like, with the metal, and combining that in new ways, and just trying to further the scope of the whole thing, to take it in new and different places. Always my goal is to always make each record different from what came before, and to grow, not to like lose the thread, but to build on what was done before, so you're not staying in one spot. Some groups do that and they're very successful at that, but that's not my interest. My interest is to always try to keep going forward and try to push the envelope with that. So I think the record did that in a lot of ways, harmonically speaking, and lyrically as well. And the record obviously deals with Dionysus and all that wine god entails, but there's also something else going on in the record that's more close to has to do with my own existence. So it's in there. It's embedded in the work.
Nice. So now talking about time administration, how do you manage your time between, Virgin Steele and your other family and personal projects? Is it easy, or?
Most of my waking hours are taken up by Virgin Steele, duties, mostly musical duties. So yeah, and the rest of it, I make my own hours, my own schedule. So if I don't want to work one day, I don't go in the studio. I'll go do something else. I say I want to go to like 7 restaurants and eat tzatziki or whatever all day. I'm going to do that. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to do at this point in my life. So that's good. But what I really always want to do is invest every ounce of energy I'm able to do in whatever project it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Like right now, I'm very involved with the Guardians of the Flame remixing and all that stuff. So that's what I'm, focusing on. And then once that's done, I'll be focusing more on what's going to be the next new Virgin Steele album. Oh, also, we're actually doing we did a lot of live recording and whatnot, and we're going to be doing kind of a movie, kind of a documentary about where the band is at now, and I'm sort of starting to mix what's going to be this the audio soundtrack for the movie. And it's probably like, I don't know, maybe 3 hours worth of music, so that's quite a lot of work. We did a lot of recording, multi-track recording, so which is cool, and also some stuff that's just 2-track straight up, so you can't really do much with it. It is what it is, kind of a thing. So it's a little bit of everything will be on that, and there'll be probably I guess there'll eventually be this DVD thing that I wanted to do for like eons now. I don't know if people actually buy DVDs, whatever. It'll probably just wind up on the internet, but whatever. There'll be a movie documentary of this particular moment in our lives as Virgin Steele.
Cool. Is there already a release date and a working title for the movie?
No, there's not a release date. No, there are several working titles. Yeah, but we'll deal with that at a later date. Yeah.
Okay, so it's still kind of secret.
Yeah. So right now I'm just trying to get the Virgin Steele 1, Virgin Steele 2, and whatever. There's going to be, of course, there's always bonus stuff on our album. So there's going to be some special. Those records were reissued once before, actually twice before. But so I'm going to make them different. There'll be some new, in addition to remixing Guardians of the Flame, there'll be some different bonus material on there as well. Yeah, that's never seen the light of day. All brand new stuff that I'm doing, you know, for these releases.
Looking forward.
Very exciting.
Yeah,
yes, we're going. I mean, your documentary goes also probably back in time traveling, and we have a question about that. What do you miss most about the 80s? Maybe the music, the movies, or touring with Virgin Steele?
People were different then. People were crazier, wilder, and more open, and not so I don't know, wound up by the bullshit was different then. So there was a huge amount of fun that went with everything. That's a little bit missing from some of, I don't think with you two, you seem to have a lot of fun, but a lot of people that I meet these days, they're lacking in spontaneity and fun. And that's what I miss with people, you know, because I'm very spontaneous. I haven't really changed one bit since I was, 12 years old. I'm still the same maniac, 11 years old when I started singing, you know.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there are always exceptions, right? So.
Yes, there are exceptions to that. Yeah. I actually really enjoy the 90s more, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because things were actually more interesting for Virgin Steele in the 90s when we started doing big records like The Marriage of Heaven and Hell and House of Atreus and all that sort of stuff. And things were, we did a lot more interesting touring then than even in the 80s. Yeah, I know we did some good stuff in the 80s, but I seem to have fonder memories of the 90s. Yeah.
So talking about the 90s and the 80s, basically, in your opinion, how does promoting music today compare to the methods used in the 80s and even the 90s? Well,
now we don't actually have to be there. You know, it's like a hologram, and you go. Back then, you had to show up and actually be on stage and perform and all that, which is great because we enjoy doing that. But now I guess it's a lot faster to get the flick of a button, and you have so many things that shooting out there, it's just nice. But I don't know. I kind of miss the other way of it. You know, it seems to be like sometimes when now things can be overexposed, and they don't have as much weight in people's minds as they did back then, because you had to like really fight for, that band you wanted to see, fight that magazine or whatever. It was a little more. There was more weight to it all. It seemed like, now this seems like sometimes it's people find things whatever, it's too disposable, and that's kind of irks me personally. I don't like that, because I don't think of Virgin Steele or any music as disposable. It's all valid. People spend a lot of hours and a lot of soul searching to do what it is they do. So it should be appreciated for that. And it's not always now.
But I guess, a mix of both would be the great, let's say, combination. Like if we had the kind of technology we have today, right, back in the 80s, 90s, then it would be, I guess, different, right? Because technology also facilitates, but it can be also bad, as you say. So
yeah. Think about those days, even going back to like not so far away as like 2010, say, whatever, when the phone wasn't like so ubiquitous, always there, and everything's on the internet, everybody thinks they're the master of the universe because they got this phone, and you a lot of the information on there is bullshit. It's not even real. So it's like, take it easy, kids. But what I really liked about those days is you had to go out. If you wanted to see a band, you had to go see the band. You had to be there in the moment, in the clubs. Club scene was outrageous, especially in New York, Long Island, growing up. I was out every night of the week. There was probably like a 10 or 11 year period where I didn't miss one single night out. I'd be in 2, 3, 4 clubs a night, you know, watching bands and meeting people. And that was social media. You were really social. You're face to face, you know, every night kind of a thing, rather than, you know, doing it the other way. And I think it's changed people's dating habits as well, you know, and all that sort of thing was what's going on now. It was a lot different than that moment in time.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure if you want to share a bit about that, because it seems...
I would bring that back in a heartbeat those days. Yeah, for that reason. Yeah, I mean, you had friends that you actually knew, you really knew them, you know, you'd see them, you'd have a drink with them, you know, you'd have dinner with them, not virtually, you'd be, you know, in the same room with them, that kind of a thing, you know. And I sort of miss that, because people, you know, of my generation who have also gravitated to this new technology, it's like you can't get in touch with them. You gotta text them. I don't fucking text. I don't text. Okay, I have a phone it's a phone. It's not a spaceship. I don't get the internet on it. It's just a phone. You know, that's it. You know, so I'm not gonna text you. You want to speak to me? Call me on a real phone and we'll speak. Let's get together. We'll have dinner. I'll pay for it. You know, let's hang out.
I see. Okay.
If I like you, I want to see you. You know, I'm not going to text you. You're not going to text me. It doesn't work that way. Yeah.
I think that's great. And maybe this is the right moment to share with our audience that we actually had problems with the modern technology today, because Zoom didn't let us record the interview. And now we're on Skype, but that also shows how spontaneous you are. So we all can see that, David, it's true what you said about spontaneity. You haven't lost any of the spontaneity since the 80s, and that's great.
I try not to. I try to just have fun with life and existence, and let's do it. Yeah, you know, I like living. I like living the way it's. There's a saying from my father. He would, whenever he wanted to do something, say, "It's not my lifestyle." That's the same phrase I use. It's not my lifestyle. I do what I do, and that's it. You know, everybody's welcome. Like I said, generally speaking, I'll end up buying all the drinks, so it's all cool. Let's do it.
Nice. And since you're so spontaneous, we have also some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Like spontaneous and quick. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good. The first one is going back to high school, to your high school days. Were you more the popular kid or the weird guy?
I was probably a little bit of both, you know, for some certain people. Yeah, because I didn't want to be there. I actually did 3 years of high school in 2 because I wanted to get out of there. I was playing in bands, and I was getting home at 4 o'clock in the morning. And my mother would say, I'm like 16 years old, my mother would say, you got to go to school, get up and go to school. I haven't even been to bed yet, you know, kind of a thing. So I did 3 years and 2, got out of there. So and I'd be like, why am I here? I'm Jimmy Page. What am I doing here? You know? So yeah, it was a little bit of both. Some people found me probably, you know, off the wall strange, but in my circle of friends, like-minded, metal, crazy people, it was all good. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So second one, can you name a city or place that you've visited and absolutely want to go back, and why?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's been so many, but what comes to mind is Athens and Heraklion.
Oh.
Really, I loved both those places. Just the ambiance, the feeling of the Greek gods and goddesses are around me, kind of a thing. I love that vibe. I mean, I get that. I make that up in my own world here where I live, but there is where they were born, so it's different, you know. Here we have a different kind of god and goddess type thing. But yeah, the warmth of it, the people are absolutely great. The food, I love the food. Yeah, I would go back there. I was even thinking about, well, you know, if things don't work out with what goes on in the next year or so here in this part of the world, I'm moving over there, or either that or Sardinia, which I've never been yet, but I do want
to. By the way, have you visited Olympus, like the Mount Olympus?
I've been there, and I've been to every touristy place you can be in Athens. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Good.
Nice. And you mentioned the topic drinks. Do you have a favorite drink that you're totally addicted to?
I'm really a wine person. You know, red wine is my thing, and I enjoy all the wines, be they Pinot Noir, Merlot, eh, everything, Cabernet. It's all good. I have there are certain Long Island wines that are very good that I enjoy from our state here, our island.
Any specific type of grape you prefer most, or any
I
kind?
am probably partial to. I enjoy all of those, but that I mentioned. But I am partial to the Pinot Noir. Yeah, the most tragic of all the grapes. Yes, it's like Dionysus, the most tragic god, the most tragic grape.
All right. So share with us a non-metal artist or song that you secretly or not so secretly enjoy. A non-metal.
Hey, I'm a big fan of artists like Brian Ferry, Roxy Music, Kate Bush, Tori Amos. Yeah, I love all that stuff. So it could be, More Than This by Roxy Music. Running Up That Hill, Kate Bush. So many things. Tori Amos, the entire Under the Pink album and the first album. Yeah, I love all that stuff. It's no secret. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. And since you already mentioned a few songs, if you could pick any song out there and make a cover version of it, which one would it be?
Of those that I mentioned, those artists?
Or everything. It could be one of those, but it could be also another one.
We do enjoy, I enjoy doing the cover stuff. We did a crazy version of Wicked Game, the Chris Isaak song on 2 albums back. But I would do Slave to Love, possibly. Brian Ferry. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Well, that's just off the top of the head at the moment.
Interesting. All right. I guess we came to an end, but feel free to take some time and share whatever you want to share about your work, your new album, your projects, and anything you want to share with the fans.
Sure. I want to say thank you, people of Spain and Greece, for being there at the gigs that we did this summer. We really had a wonderful time. And the band now, the live version of the group now, has been very, very friendly, very tight, feels very, very good where we are now. Edward, unfortunately, doesn't always come out with us. He missed the summer shows, but he's still very much in the group. He's still very much my friend. I want people to know that. I just saw him a few days ago, and he's very much on the next new Virgin Steele album, which will be out next. And I'm trying to persuade him to eventually get back to more live dates with us. But meanwhile, the version of the group that exists now is a very good, happy, simpatico place. And we're going to be doing more dates over the next months and so on and so forth. So we'll be visiting more areas. Hopefully we'll get to Helsinki. I got some friends that live there as well. Yeah. So I'd like to go back there. I really enjoyed my days in Finland and Scandinavia in general. Very much enjoyed it. And as I said, we're doing the reissues of the first 2 Virgin Steele albums, and they will be very special, different than what we've done before with them, especially with the remixes of Guardians of the Flame. And the movie thing that we're doing, I'm not exactly sure when it's going to all come together, because that's a real labor of love that I'm doing while I'm doing everything else that we're supposed to be doing. In addition to the new album. But the new Virgin Steele album, the one that's follow-up to The Passion of Dionysus, at the moment could very well be a double album, but it might be issued as a part 1, part 2, act 1, act 2 kind of thing. I'm not sure how that's going to go, because I'm actually we've recorded like 2 albums worth of stuff ready, but I'm still writing, and I'm still, saying, well, maybe we'll use that instead. So it's still a little bit in flux. But there's going to be a lot of music coming down the road with us. We're not going away. We're never stopping. The only thing that'll stop me is death, and hopefully that's not on the horizon anytime soon. So, going forward, that's it, Yeah.
I think that
probably best shape of my life I've been in years, So I work out every day, and everything is going well. Yeah.
Do you think that you would do again like a soundtrack like you did in the 90s? Because it's a lot of work. So would you be up for doing it
Do you
again?
mean those? Are you referring to those metal operas that I did? Yeah, that were based on Atreus and so on and so forth. Yeah. I would definitely do that again.
The night,
Which one?
the On the Wings of the Night.
Oh, songs like that? Yeah. I would do something like that again. There's a song I wrote probably during the Age of Consent days that we never did anything with, which might be a bonus track on this revamped Guardians of the Flame. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. It's in the spirit of something of that nature. It's a little more playful than that, though. That was quite serious. This track is a little more playful because it was more of the more like something like 17 from Age of Consent, something more like that. Yeah, this track. Yeah, we'll see.
It's from the movie Hear No Evil, right? If I recall.
No Evil, yeah, with Martin Sheen and Marley Maitland. Yeah. That was that came about because of another movie. We did this thing called. There was a big crazy saga here about a guy named Joey Buttafuoco on Long Island, New York, who he had a 16-year-old lover who shot his wife. She lived. I was friendly with these people. I knew them. So we became like the soundtrack that they wanted to use in their movie. So in their movie was Love is Pain, Never Believed in Goodbye, Snakeskin Voodoo Man. So because of that movie, I guess the people from TriStar got interested in Virgin Steele and wanted to use something else. So that was where On the Wings of the Night came in. And we also did, there's a horror movie called Zombie Nightmare that features We Rule the Night. I don't know if you know that movie. It was like, that was in the late 80s. They did that movie. It was the original guy who played Batman, Adam West, in the TV series. He's in that movie. And also there's a really young Tia Carrera in that from Wayne's World and all that. Mm-hmm. On the Wings of the Night. And there's another male guy. There's a guy, I don't know if you know the band Thor, John Michael Thor.
Yes.
Yeah, well, he's in the movie. He's an actor in the movie, and he gets run over by these kids while they're listening to We Rule the Night. And he becomes a zombie, comes back. So that was the first movie soundtrack thing that we were involved with. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of 80s zombie movies, really.
Yeah.
Have a movie night, Alex. I haven't seen it yet, but I totally want to see it now.
It wasn't a great movie, but the moment when you hear On the Wings of the Night is a great moment in the movie.
Can you imagine? All right. Good.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say, because you mentioned metal opera, I really love the Final Sacrifice that you did with Avantasia.
Oh, thanks very much. That was I did all those vocals for that record a day off from doing House of Atreus. Yeah, went into a different studio and did that. Yeah. That was all because there was a woman at Noise Records who I was signed to back then. Mm-hmm. Sandra, great Virgin Steele fan. She loved the band, and sadly she's no longer with us. But she loved the group, and she was friendly with Tobias, and she approached me and said, "This guy wants to ring you up. He wants you to sing on his album." I said, "Yeah, you can do it. Sure, no problem." Yeah, so that's how that happened. She facilitated that. She was great.
Thank you so much for this amazing, interesting interview, David.
My pleasure. Thank you both for having me. Love to do it again.
Thank you for being so spontaneous and making this happen despite the internet was bailing on us.
Well, I said this yesterday. Somebody was saying to me something about, don't worry about that. Do it this way or this can happen. I said, no, I refuse to bend to the universe's will. The universe is going to bend to my will. That's it.
Worked out well tonight, I would say.
All right, so we had a blast chatting with you. Big thanks for sharing your stories and insights. We'd love to have you back, anytime.
Sure, absolutely.
And remember, book now for the unforgettable experience. Mediterranea Metal Cruise awaits.
All right. Fantastic. Cheers. Thank you both.
Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye, David.
You. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.